Hello, good morning. So, I'm totally sober today. I'm about to tell a story time. So, let me just start out saying I've always taken into consideration that my daughter has always wanted sisters and brothers, wanted other kids to play with. Um, I've always been the kind of mommy. I let her friends spend the night. I let her friends have sleepovers. I cook for her and her friends. I order pizza. I buy them snacks. I'm a very chill mom. I'm very nice. But I'm going to just say a lot of my daughter's friends are, I'm just saying, it's a mother's intuition. A lot of them, I didn't see any good in them. I saw a very mischievous, kind of hateful, a little bit of jealous and mean-spirited kids. But I tried to overlook that, and I let my daughter bring them in the house. I let her give them snacks. She always wanted someone to play with. So now I've already told the story about two of her friends when my daughter was younger, like around 8 and 9. One of them had stopped up my toilet, and she was always mean to my daughter and associating and playing with girls that didn't like my daughter. The ops is what they call them. So, and the other one, this other little girl who her mom used to like bring her to my house. Her mom would drive all the way from the north side of Houston to where I live at to bring her daughter to spend the night or to spend the weekend. And like I said, her daughter is the one who put her hand in my face like this. And I said I wanted to slap the shit out of that girl. I wanted to whoop her ass with a belt when she did that. But like I said in previous story time, her mom has always been known to pull guns out on people. And she was on Instagram holding a gun, talking about how she would shoot her baby daddy because she felt like he was cheating on her. So that's the only reason why when her daughter put her hand in my face like this in my house, I didn't hit her. And then I don't want no other parent putting their hands on my child. So, and then, okay, so I'm about to get into this other story time about another friend of hers who used to come spend the night and have sleepovers with the little girl and all that. So, this was a little light-skinned girl that went to elementary with my daughter. Kind of weird little girl. So, she would always like her. I would take her and my daughter to the store, and my daughter would to her, my daughter would buy all the best snacks. So she wouldn't share her snacks with my daughter, but she wanted my daughter's snacks. And my daughter would always share with her because she didn't want the little girl to go home and not play with her anymore. But one of these, I let this little girl spend the weekend. And during the weekend, her and my daughter would get into arguments and play pranks on each other. But I don't know where this idea came into this little girl head that she was going to do something to somebody's food, but she did. It wasn't food, it was Kool-Aid. And I would make Kool-Aid for my daughter and her friend. So they would have me to put the Kool-Aid in the water bottle so they can just be sipping on it. One of these weekends, my daughter left her Kool-Aid sitting out. And she had picked up we was all in the living room watching a movie. Now, this little weird ass little girl, she decided to sit in a corner. And she was sipping on the Kool-Aid that I made. And she was playing on her phone. While my daughter sat next to me. We was watching a movie on Hulu. So, my daughter picked up the water bottle with the Kool-Aid in it, and she started to sip it. And I guess my daughter was really thirsty. But in the midst of her sipping on the Kool-Aid that was in the water bottle, the little girl was in the corner, like smirking and laughing, and I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. All of a sudden, my daughter spits out the Kool-Aid and starts crying and saying that the Kool-Aid tasted like it had salt in it. So she cries, and I try to soothe her, and I give her some gum and pickles to try to like get that bad taste out of her mouth. Meanwhile, my daughter had said that the little girl had did something to the Kool-Aid. So me and my daughter look at the little girl at the same time. And she's in the corner looking at both of us. I guess the little girl thought I was going to get up and slap the shit out of her, which I wanted to. Because how dare you? You in my house over the weekend. You don't mess with somebody's food, somebody's drink, Kool-Aid, soda, whatever. Like, don't do that. And it's like, it's evident that she did do that. Because she looked at me and my daughter as me and my daughter stared at her. And then all of a sudden I said, "Did you do that?" And she's like, "No, ma'am." She's like, that Kool-Aid been left out for several days. I would never do that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So, then another time she got mad at my daughter. Over the weekend, me and my daughter was another little girl the same little girl who put her hand in my face like this, her and the girl that put the salt in my daughter Kool-Aid, they slept together in my daughter's bed, and my daughter slept in the bed with me. So early in the morning, this is like 6:30 a.m. in the morning. This same little girl who put the damn salt in my daughter's Kool-Aid. Her and the little girl that they had woke up early. So both of them decided they was gonna come in my room where me and my daughter was at. And they had something in a red paper cup. Those red paper cups that the celebrities advertise sipping alcohol in. Yeah. The girl takes the cup and pours it like me and my daughter both felt that it was salt that the girl poured. And the girl did that, her and the other girl ran into my daughter's room laughing. I immediately got up and I told that girl, I'm like, pack your stuff and go home now. She's like, well, can I eat before I go home? Because my brothers be there and they don't let me eat if my mom not there. I'm like, you can't eat nothing. Get your stuff and go. Because I don't appreciate what you did. And she's like, that wasn't me. That was Skylar. I'm like, pack your stuff and go now. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not the one. What you're not gonna do is be here in my house while you stand over the weekend and disrespect me. And then as for the other little girl, I called her mom and told her mom to come pick her up, which it took her mom 3 hours to come get her. But the other girl who did something to my daughter's Kool-Aid, she was the main one who I wanted out of my house. Because she was just being trifling at this point. And it's like, I don't understand. It's like, if these friends who call themselves friends with my daughter, they wanted to be friends with my daughter, but it was all for the wrong reasons. Because I was always the type of mommy who would buy my daughter a lot of snacks. I like to spoil my daughter. And then, when they would come over, they would always wanted my daughter's snacks. But yeah, that little musty tail ass heifer put some salt in my daughter's Kool-Aid and then lied about it. And that's another situation when I wanted to get up from the couch and go over to where she was at and slap the shit out of her. Because, like, no ma'am. Luckily, I don't put my hands on other people's kids. Even though my baby daddy, his other baby mama, spanked my daughter when my daughter was 4 years old on her birthday. And he asked me when I came to drop off his other 2 daughters if my daughter could spend the night. And I started to say no. And I wish I would have said no, because that same day, he brought my daughter back the next day, but my daughter told me that his baby mama spanked her, saying that it's because she done listen. And I cussed his ass out and told him, you don't be standing there watching while she hit our daughter. And I told him that I was going to kick her ass and that I was going to beat his ass too. And I'm like, he's like, it wasn't done intentionally. All 3 of us got to sit down and have a talk. I'm like, fuck you and her. I'm not having a talk with her because she don't even have no reason as to why she spanked my daughter the first time she's meeting my daughter. But not only because of that situation why I don't put my hands on other people's kids, is also because, like, that's just not right. If I didn't if a kid didn't come out of my womb, I'm not going to hit somebody else's kid. No matter how mad I get at somebody else's kid in my house, I never put my hands on them. I might fuss at them and tell them that I'm going to make them leave if they don't obey me, but that's about it. You just don't put your hands on other people's kids. But there are some occasions when I wanted to go in my closet and get that belt and beat the shit out of some of them. And that little girl was one of them. Her and the one that put her hand in my face like this. But I'm about to end this video because I do have errands to run and things to do. I might have another video later on today. And until then, y'all stay blessed.